Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the BBO NYG podcast. I am Mike. That is John. Jules is once again missing in action. Nobody seems to know where he is. Apparently, it's on planes, trains, automobiles, wherever. Who the fuck knows? We put Jules' face on the milk carton. People's been looking for him, so hopefully we find him. We'll give him another week. Otherwise, we got to legally declare him dead. So Jules has one more week to get back to the podcast. But I would have liked to hear him rant about this past fucking Sunday, John. I mean, a fucking tie. I don't know.
25 years, man.
What do we have to do? Do we got to go like, college rules where we start at like the 20 or whatever? And then if you score a touchdown, then the next drive, you got to get a 2-point conversion. You got to do something. This is fucking stupid. Ties are fucking stupid. I felt so numb.
Yeah, man. It was. It got to a point where it was like a relief. Like you felt like they were in control for a lot of the game, especially towards the end. They had a touchdown lead, and you just felt like the defense was playing well, and they were just going to figure out a way to kind of step up, make that one last play, and win the game. And it just, for a quarter and a half, basically all of overtime and the last half of the game, they just couldn't get the play to get the win. Darius Slayton drops that ball. Feliciano gets that penalty. There's just, that touchdown, the arm tackle that the dude broke to score a touchdown late, like all these just different things. I said in a group chat, man, I just feel like that magic we had in the first half of the season just feels like it's gone. They're missing that, like that thing. It just feels like same old Giants in a sense. And as at the end of the day, the game basically just doesn't count if it's a tie. We didn't lose any ground. We didn't gain any ground. It just is like another bye week. So it's not really the end of the world. But you're, in a game that you look like you should have won, to not come out with the W, not have that fucking, feeling of winning back, especially going against Philadelphia next week. Like it would have been a really good game to fucking just clear the palate, and what happens next week, it happens next week. But now it's we've had one win the last like 5 weeks, bro. It's like, we gotta start fucking finding a way back home.
Well, it's really gonna come down to the next time we play Washington in 2 weeks, because according to like stat.com, some website, pretty much the Giants could lose to Philly twice. They could lose to Minnesota, but if they beat Washington and the Colts, pretty much they're guaranteed a playoff spot, which is
right. Just need 2 wins.
Yeah,
I've been saying that since before the bye week.
I mean, that'll be fantastic if that's the true. But going back to this game, there's a lot of things that frustrated me. Like after Washington missed that 50-yard field goal, right? We have great position. Then all of a sudden we get called for a stupid holding call. 10-yard penalty sets us back. We have to fucking punt. Then, towards the end of the game, you talked about the Feliciano play. I understand he was doing it in Slayton's direction, but if you see Feliciano run up to Slayton, with his arms like up this, folding like he's like, fucking flexing, he ran into one of the Washington players. So it brushed him
right in the crowd.
You know what I mean? So you can't do that. Yeah, I understand you saying no, of just bullshit blaming the refs, but you got to know that you can't fucking make contact with these guys, and that kind of shit's gonna happen. So unfortunately, that's where we're at with that. It's just one of those games. They had plenty of opportunities.
Yep.
Like you said, like Slayton dropping that ball was just absurd. He had it in his hand. Now Giants Twitter is pretty much like debating on like, oh, if it was a bad pass or this and that. I got guys saying, oh, we should have let him outside. I'm like, well, that wasn't the play. The play wasn't for him to go outside. It was supposed to.
There was a defender there.
Well, not like to the outside towards the sideline, right? But that wasn't the play. I don't know, but that wasn't like the play. The play was for him to go cut in, and then the safety was coming in. So, I mean, the ball was in his hands. He had it in his hands, just, fall to the ground. My man tried to catch it, and then he's trying to bring it to the ground, bring it to his chest. And of course, you're gonna fucking fumble that. But if Slayton just keeps going like upfield a little bit, he doesn't need to stop and jump to make that catch. If he just keeps going, he catches the ball in stride, and that's probably fucking a touchdown right there. So just a lot of bullshit. I know, they really like people blame him Kafka too because of the play calling, but the way Washington's defense was, I think it looked like they were playing a lot of nickel, and they were actually like, they're relying on their front four to stop Barkley, and they did a great job on Barkley because they kept fucking pushing the interior line in and kept hitting Barkley in the backfield, even though Barkley got his like 3 yards, 4 yards a year, but he was getting hit right away. There was like no chance for him to like really run the ball. Like Washington, you got to give him credit, man. They got that front four is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and we're not even with Chase Young there either.
Yeah, that's true.
They had that. I feel like this was the most plays that I could remember this season where there was negative runs. I feel like there's been a lot of progress made in that department where, maybe he didn't have a 130-yard game, but he only had 1 or 2 0-yard or negative yard runs, and there was a number of plays where he lost 3, 4, 5 yards. And they would just show the replay, and you just see the interior offensive lineman just getting whooped. I don't know why Nick Gates wasn't playing full time. Like, what are we doing here? The guy's proved he can play.
I think they try to bring him along slowly, John.
Yeah, but he already started a few games. And he played well.
I know. Like I think he did too. I mean, obviously,
I wonder how much of that
wasn't good.
I wonder how much of that is like, Feliciano came from the Bills with Dable, and he's trying to kind of do right by his guy before his career ends, whatever. But we're in the fucking playoff chase, man. I know you guys didn't really probably plan on that being the case in the front office and and the head coaches and stuff like that. But the way you guys started the season, you're in the playoff race, and you can't be fucking just playing fucking Madden football here. Like, you got to play to win the games right now. Like, you're 2 wins away from making a playoff run, and this franchise is a franchise that I don't know about in American sports. You can pick a team that you can say, just get me into the dance and we'll see what happens. A team that more embodies that than the New York Giants. We've literally seen them in the last 15 years win 2 fucking Super Bowls, being doubted every single game of the playoffs, and won twice. And I'm not old enough to really remember in detail the 86 and the 90 Super Bowls. I'm sure there maybe something similar there, maybe not, because of the fact that we had LT and Carson and Banks and all those guys. Maybe they were favored. I don't know. But right now, in the last 30 years of Giants football, we don't really get many opportunities to fucking waltz our way into fucking superstardom. Like, and they just I really hope that that's not the case, that's what they're doing, bro, because that's going to take some serious shine off of this regime right now, if that's what you're doing in a playoff hunt.
Well, 86, they were definitely one of the teams to beat, because they it was really just them and the Bears. The Bears beat them the previous season, but the 86 Giants were just fucking loaded. And then 90, it looked like they were a pretty good team. Phil Simms gets hurt. Jeff Hostetler comes in. They kind of played that small ball, like a little bit. They relied on the run game, kind of like what we're doing now. But at least like, Hostetler had guys like Ingram, and he had wide receivers to throw the ball to. But
so that's 3 of 4 Super Bowls that we've won, 3 or 4 of the most important games in NFL history that we've won as really and truly being full underdogs.
Yeah, nobody expected us.
No. In 2007, are you kidding? We were playing against fucking Jesus Christ, Zeus, and Apollo,
right?
And we won. So again, the point is, you're in a playoff race. Sure, I don't think anybody, even me and you, being 2 of the most vocally optimistic Giants fans that live on planet Earth right now,
true,
even would say that we're Super Bowl, there's a possibility for a Super Bowl. But the fact remains, you get into the playoffs, you start playing fucking good football, man.
Anything.
You need 2 wins. You need 2 more wins. You got to figure out ways to get this shit done. And that goes for the players too, bro. Like, you can't be having fucking drops. Like, I love Darius Slayton, man. I want him to be a Giant. I fucking love him, bro. But when he dropped that pass and they threw up that graphic, 15 point whatever % fucking drop, second highest in the NFL. It's like,
now he's probably number 1.
What happened?
Now he's probably number one after
He
that.
might be, unless there's somebody who's,
number one.
doing it at a bigger rate. But I'll tell you this, there's a 50-50 chance that the player who's number one on the drop pass list has a lot more yards and a lot more touchdowns than Darius Slayton does right now. There's very few situations in football you could be a professional wide receiver dropping nearly 20% of the balls thrown. That's drop passes.
Yeah.
So that's not like incompletes. Like there's guys who catch 80, like Sterling Shepard. He had an 80+ % completion percentage with Daniel Jones for like a couple of years running. Like that means that 80% of the time the ball comes his way, he's catching the ball. And Darius Slayton not only is not catching the ball 80% of the time, but almost that difference there is just drop passes. That means a very catchable ball, because the way the NFL fucking tracks drop passes is not super fucking aggressive. Like it really has to be an egregious drop for it to count as a drop. Like it has to hit you in the hands like a real catchable ball. And you see these players, and we say it all the time. I said it last week or when we played Dallas a couple weeks ago. When you see these players, bro, jumping up, making fucking diving catches, one-handed catches, pinning the ball on their shoulder pads, that's what a professional wide receiver looks like in the NFL. We don't have guys doing that right now. And when it comes time, there's a minute left in the game. You make that fucking play. Darius Slayton catches that play. All they have to do is run the ball 3 more times. On the third run, you line up where the kicker goes. It's a 40-something yard field goal at most, and you have fucking a 10-point lead with a minute left in the game. You win. Done. We're 8-4. Congratulations. Let's go. Let's see what happens in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And you just can't have that shit, dude. And that's, I don't know if we're gonna talk about Odell much, but like that's where a guy like that has to come into play. Where if it's not Odell and it's not somebody that we can get in here this year, I don't know how you can go into this offseason not saying that that's not probably the most important position to fill on this roster going forward.
Well, I tell you what, I did like to get some positive out the game. I really do like the way Hodgkins is playing.
Man.
Virus. Like I think he's been balling. I mean, sure, he might not get the separation you like to see, but he kind of reminds you like the guy like a wide receiver, like almost like who Tom Brady had, like a Wes Welker, or like Peyton had, like a Brandon Stokely, one of those guys that could kind of like go over the middle, get a little outs, get these little out passes, 5 yards, 6 yards. And I tell you, man, he was pumped. He brought a lot of juice into the wide receiver position. And I just wish, to be, honest and frank, I just wish he played more of the game, played more of the snaps. I want to see him. Like, I understand he's new. You got to learn the playbook. He's limited the amount of plays he's going to be out there for. But I tell you, man, get this dude out there 90% of the time quick.
Yep.
Have him study every night, because I think he's the guy, like, going into even next year. Like, I would sign him. I know they brought him from Buffalo. They had, like, these guys knew him from Buffalo. But I tell you, man, this kid's got something. I could see right away. You just notice, like, how guys separate themselves, especially, like, it's kind of obvious to see when you're watching this group that's limping on the field. Anybody could really see that, but he definitely stood out, man. I like him a lot.
He, ever since they give him an opportunity, he's come up when it counts, and like that's the most important thing.
Well,
you don't need to be 100%. Like if Darius Slayton was, didn't have, had 15% drops, but he was making plays when it counts, no one would care if he had a 50% drop. If they would have put up that graphic immediately after he actually caught that ball, I'd be like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, right.
15%, whatever. When it counts and you make the play, that's what counts in sports, and that's what wins games, and more importantly, that's what wins championships. And it just seems like our guys, when it really counts the most on third downs, whatever, it just feels like that you just get that back-breaking play so often.
You mentioned Slayton last year against Washington blowing it too, right?
I think it was that the one that he dropped the pass in the end zone.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he did it twice to us against Washington last year,
and it's not the only time he's done it either. We had Evan Ingram fucking curse us with that Philadelphia drop. It just seems like something that just plagued the Giants, and we had a little respite from it in the first half of the season, where it just seemed like, we were making those plays, we were getting, but I don't know what needs to happen. I saw an article that Dable was going to have a closed door meeting with some of the vets to try to kind of like re-grab the room or whatever. But Tate Crowder apparently is asking for a release. Free me, he puts on fucking Instagram, whatever it was. Like that's
Williams
not
too.
shit that I like to see.
Rodarius Williams too. Same shit.
Rodarius Williams too. Like
it's weird because it's the social media age. So they just all they did was like a couple guys saying, "Why don't you play? Why don't you play?" And I was kind of wondering the same things, not with so much Tate Crowder, but with Rodarius Williams. I'm like, he had the interception last week, right?
Mhm.
And then like all of a
he
sudden he's not playing. So I think this coaching staff, it really just goes down to show you, like, if you don't practice well that week, like that, you're out. I don't think they're fucking around like that. And I can't blame them. And they got to chime in on social media and be babies. I'm like, maybe work a little harder. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's just this generation of athlete, and it's an
no
unfortunate
doubt.
part of today's sports. And realistically speaking, it's something that, you and I, we're just gonna have to get used to, because social media is not going anywhere, and it's only going to be more and more intertwined with our daily lives. And that's how these guys make fucking money off the field. That's it's a
good
part
point.
of brand. It's important for them to have a presence. And unfortunately, that's going to lead to situations like that where they find fucking a reason to be upset.
Yeah.
And they say, you know what, there's 31 other teams. I'm not getting my fucking shake here. I might as well go somewhere else before I fucking waste time. Like, I get it from their standpoint. You only have so much time to be able to be an NFL player, but it's just an annoying thing to see where, we grew up in a time where it was team first, to death. And now it's like a completely different thing. Like, the loyalty is completely gone. I get that loyalty factor from their perspective goes both ways. Like, hey, I'm your guy. You're playing me now. I'm not getting playing time now. How am I supposed to, exceed in my career and stuff like that? You don't trust me, this and that. But at the same time, that shit's earned, bro. Like, the players who aren't getting playing time, Kenny Galladay, Tate Crowder, like, as much as we want them to succeed when they're on the field, they're not always coming through. Like, there's teams where they have players all over the roster that come through when it fucking counts, and we just don't have that. And and the places that we really need it right now. It fucking sucks.
Definitely a shame.
It was nice though. Can I just It was nice though to see Aziz and the rest of the guys on the field at the same time and actually getting pressure on the quarterback. Like, it's the first time we're able to see all the guys together. Aziz, sack, fumble. If fucking Taylor Heineke was a foot taller, or a few inches taller, we might have had a safety at the end of the game, which would have fucking put the game away.
That K-Tip sack was great.
A foot away from fucking.
I thought we won the game right there.
Yeah, free fucking shot, bro. I was like, oh my god, all he has to do is take a step back. I almost wish Kayvon would have took a split second to let fucking Taylor try to get away from him and then tackle him in the end zone. I mean, not almost. That's exactly what I wish happened, because we would have won the game at that point.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, it's they lost that little magic, and they got to find a way to find it with themselves, man. And also kudos to fucking Daniel Jones, bro. This fucking guy, man. Like, I don't get how these people fucking complain. How do you watch that game? He was literally, they were bragging into the fourth quarter that the only incompletion he had was a spike the entire game. And then fucking when it counts the most, hits a 50-yard bomb, hits a receiver's right in the fucking hands. Darius Slayton drops the ball. Like, you would have had 300-something yards passing, multiple touchdowns. Fucking how many times did he run the ball for first down?
Well,
he's killing us.
He had to run the ball because the interior line was collapsing so much that he had to run for his life, like usual.
He's doing shit by himself, dude.
Yeah, I think
by himself.
People really got to stop. Like, I'll talk more about it in the haters club, because people were coming after me for sticking up to. He's like, oh, they're Danny Jones homer. I'm like, I'm not a homer. I understand what the game is and what these guys are doing. I'm like, I'll get to it later. But it's just very frustrating. I do want to give credit to Washington for one play of the game, or one aspect of the game. In overtime, they chose for the Giants to go that way in the field, because the way the field goal kickers, they were missing and they were coming up short going that field. I'm like, that's Ron Rivera coaching right there. I thought that was brilliant. I didn't really realize at the time, but I think the announcer might have said it after the game, or I heard it somewhere, and I was just like, man, that's really good, because they kind of knew Graham Cano was kind of like fucking money, and all he needed was a couple extra yards, and sure, like Washington could have been called for delay game at the end. They could have been called for that offsides, which was blatant, but the refs, they love to fucking miss everything. But hey, listen, give credit where it's due. I knew we both said it was going to be a tough game. we said it was going to be close no matter what, because it always is. But I tell you, we got a rematch in 2 weeks in their house. And man, like it's a Sunday night game because they flex it. So that means Monday morning I have to call in sick from work, or I'm going to be at least 5 hours late because there's no fucking way I'm getting up early for that Monday. But all right, going into the Philly game, I actually have us beating Philly. You know what I'm saying? They're not giving us a chance. They're giving us I think we're 7-point underdogs. But listen, I'm interested to see the matchup between our defensive line and their offensive line. Yeah. I would love to just have our defensive line just make Hurts look stupid because, listen, I watch a lot of games and I watch Philly pretty much all year. My man Hurts has all day in that pocket, which is just ridiculous. I get so jealous watching that team. Plus, he has the wide receivers to go with it too. So I would love nothing else for that defensive front. Hopefully Leonard Williams' neck is okay. He could be back. I just want them to fucking make Hurts look fucking stupid.
I mean, it's a nice thing to say, but not many teams have been able to. No, I mean, no one's really been able to do it the entire season. It's not. I mean, division games, they're always close. We say that every time we play, especially NFC East games. It just always feel like they're going to be a close game. It's just how they play out. So, you know, if we can get the bounce of the ball, if our guys can fucking actually make a play when it counts, we can win the game.
You can run on Philly though. Philly's like they're not a great defense. You know what it is? They're just always rested. That's the thing. That's the key thing. So tell me Jones and Barkley don't want to run. If they run the ball on them with the read option, all day, John, all day.
I mean, look how it's just another case of like if you get your young quarterback weapons, they will be that much better. No, everybody thought Jalen Hurts was fucking nobody. Now all of a sudden he's the MVP of the league. Why? Because he has they used the 6th overall pick or whatever it was, 10th overall pick on fucking what's his face? Devontae. They got AJ Brown, who's literally lapping the entire Tennessee team he came from.
Dallas Goedert.
What happened?
Dallas Goedert, the tight end.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert, whatever his name is. Like he's got weapons to go with, you know, Miles Sanders and shit like that. Like he's got guys to go, like to actually throw the ball. They get open, they make catches. I was watching a game, my stomach turned. They show a highlight of him throwing to fucking AJ Brown with a guy, like throws it into the end zone, 45 yards on the field, and he just catches it like right fucking here, like just perfect catch of the ball, wins the one-on-one against the defender, and it's a touchdown. It's like, bro, Darius Slayton was wide open, and just dropped the ball. Like,
just drops.
That's the difference between winning and losing. That's just it, right there. That's it.
Don't drop the ball.
David Tyree doesn't make that fucking catch, we don't win that game. That was that Super Bowl. Mario Manningham doesn't make that sideline catch at the end of the game, we don't win that Super Bowl. Like, that's what fucking matters, and you got to get guys to fucking do it.
Yes, that is the whole point of the NFL. You need playmakers, and until you surround, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like people were saying, "Oh, Anthony Richardson's coming out. We got to get him for the Giants." I'm like, dude, if you don't support any quarterback, it's just not going to be fucking great. He's not going to be any good. Like put Hurts in our situation. Put Hurts in the Giants uniform and have him play. He'll be running for his life too. You know what I mean? So, but listen, that's the matchup I want to see: defensive front against offensive front, and let the games begin. I'm excited to see this Philly matchup. A lot of people are not giving us any chance or whatever. So be it. I love being the underdogs. I just want to see how well. I mean, because they're supposed to be, you know, they're one of the best teams, right? Washington beat them on Monday Night Football in their house, and we just tied Washington. So if you look at it, you know what I mean? Hey, it's NFC East time. You know what I mean? It's going to be, Giants are not going to get embarrassed. The game's coming down to a wire again.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say about that. Fuck the Eagles. I fucking hate
them. Fuck the Eagles, bro. Fuck the Eagles. I hate them.
They're the team I hate the most. So come Sunday night, man, I'm going to be in rare form. If somebody pisses me off on this fucking social media before, during, or after the game, watch out. Chad Powers is going to go nuts on your ass. All right. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll get back into the some Odell Beckham news. We'll get into the Haters Club, and then we'll do the picks real quick. We'll be right back. All right, we are back on the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike. That's John. Jules is still missing. Jules, hopefully you're around somewhere. We'll come get you. If you've been taken, we'll get that Liam Neeson guy to come find you. But John, here we go, man. We got some Odell Beckham news. I'm wearing there for people that watch the YouTube video. I'm in my Odell Beckham jersey. Had to get that dust off. Came out today, right? All of a sudden, right? He had his Dallas visit yesterday. All of a sudden, this morning, it came out leaked that Odell Beckham Jr. might not be ready. Come this season, he's not working out for teams. I find it funny how that news gets leaked after Dallas, right? But not after the Giants or Buffalo visit, right? So it comes leaked after the fucking Dallas move, right? So that means one or two things. It either means he's really not ready, but I don't buy that, or it means that Jerry Jones, being his uptight little fucking old geezer, rich asshole, didn't get a contract, didn't get a Odell Beckham Jr. agreement on a contract before he left Dallas. He's so uptight about that because Odell wants to give the Giants the first chance to sign him. Yep. Okay. And Jones got fucking so uptight that he's like, they started trying to leak news to fucking, so trust me.
Yeah, there's still some doubt in the fucking other teams.
They know that.
Our doctor said that he's not ready to play. Why are you going to sign him, Giants? Why are you going to sign him, Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely see that being the case. Try to drive down the price, something like that. But I sure hope that fucking if Joe Shane and Brian Dable feel like Odell's the right fit for this fucking team and can help us, make the playoffs and win a game or two or three or four in the playoffs, let's then fucking find a way to get it because
yes,
again, I mean, I hate to keep going back to the same thing, but you see the difference of what a real wide receiver can do for a team. And not that Darius Slay's not a real wide receiver. He just shouldn't be the number one guy. He's a number two wide receiver, and he's a very good one, and that's what he needs to be. But he needs they need a number one on this team. So you can get Odell in here for the next couple of years. Hopefully he's not a clown. Hopefully none of that shit fucking. He could just come in, put his head down, and be a leader with Shep, with Saquon on this team, and just lead this team to fucking winning games and a winning culture and stuff like that. Help Daniel Jones, realize his potential, bro. Like, this kid's so fucking good, bro. And it's just, I just feel like there's so many games of his career just been wasted by not having the right players around him. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So if this kid goes to another team, bro, like, he's going to do so fucking well, dude. He may be a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback if he goes to a good team. That's how good Daniel Jones is. You can laugh if you're listening to this. I don't care what country you're in laughing. I'm telling you right now, this fucking kid is fucking talented. He's got every tool in the fucking book, bro. All he needs is to be harnessed. And if it's not going to happen in New York, some team, he is way good enough that he will have suitors come this free agency. He will not be on the couch back in North Carolina in the 2023 season nor the 2024 season. He will have multiple teams he will play for again if shit doesn't work out of the next team. He is very good. And if he finds his way to the right fucking team, he's going to be a problem. He goes to Pittsburgh, plays with Mike Tomlin. They have some wide receivers there. He's going to be a fucking problem. He goes to one of the, Tom Brady retires. He goes down to fucking Tampa Bay. He's going to be a fucking problem.
San Fran,
NFC.
What if he goes to San Francisco? Jimmy Garbage got hurt. They wanted to move off him. He's a free agent. Jimmy Garbage ain't coming back to San Fran. They wanted him out of here. And I know they like Trey Lance, but can you imagine like Jones with those weapons in there when those guys just making plays? Like I've had guys. It's time for the Haters Club.
Welcome all you ignorant ass bitches, critics, complainers, disgruntled rappers, and racists especially, to the 9th annual International Player Haters Ball. Oh man, hate.
It's your favorite Haters Club segment, but I had guys coming after me. Hate. I had guys coming after me. Guys named, Corey, Jacob. There's a list.
It's the same fucking faces, bro.
It's always it really is. It's the same fucking
fucking assholes.
They always fucking come in. This guy, Smash Gordon. There's a whole list. We're in like a big long fucking thread, and pretty much this one guy. they were all dogging Daniel Jones. I'm like, listen, you put him in certain situation, like I said before, put Jones on the Eagles with that offensive line and
Oh
that
my God.
fucking those wide receivers. Like, you don't think he'd fucking be lights out? I mean,
Lights out.
like Hurts is putting up all this crazy fantasy stats again, points like crazy every week, and I knew it was going to happen because of the team and the offensive line around him. It was going to be like, mostly any quarterback. Like, I'm not knocking him saying he sucks. Like, he's good, but he's not great. He's not elite. He's just the benefactor of like having this offensive line that give him like 8 fucking seconds. So that was like my point against all these guys. The Daniel Jones haters in this group thread, whatever. But there was one other one that I couldn't really stand. It was like, when Jacob was taught, this guy at Jacob with a bunch of B's at the end. And he's like, he pretty much told me this about like Slayton. He's like, Slayton had drop problems in the past, but has been solid until this one on Sunday. And I'm like, what? I'm like, didn't you just watch the game where they showed Slayton has the second highest drop percentage in the NFL this year? And then like, he's pretty much first now, but he had no like response to that, of course, because, you don't want to, it's facts,
Why address facts when you can use opinions?
You can't go there, but that was them in there. So I don't want to dwell too much time on that, but I do want to nominate ESPN in a way in the haters club, because today it was big thing on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith, Mina Kimes, all them, and they were pretty much like how they were saying like this was it. This was their headline, John. They was like, have the Ravens set Lamar Jackson up to fail by not adding a big time wide receiver?
Oh God.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, why don't you say that about fucking Daniel Jones? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't fucking say that about him. And it just made me fucking furious. I was adding fucking Mina Kimes, because she was like, she said like, oh, you need a top stud wide receiver for him. I'm like, well, why aren't you saying
what
that?
about Mark Andrews?
Yeah. Mark Andrews, like the tight end that was bailing.
Guys, like one of the best tight ends in fucking football. Like, what are we talking about here?
He bailed out Lamar Jackson so many times and shit. It's just like, it got me really nuts. Just as soon as I seen the headline, I wish I didn't fucking even hear these fucking people talk, because you could just replace Lamar Jackson with Daniel Jones. And if they did that on ESPN, right? If they did that, all these fucking Daniel Jones haters would eat that up. They'd be like, oh yeah, ESPN is right. They know football, so I have to side with them.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's the way it was, because they get this false sense of narrative, like by these fucking people. Some of them that haven't even, like Mina, like some of them that they haven't even played football ever. Like, I'm not taking their fucking word from them. You know what I mean? You take the word from players in that locker room and former players. If they had all good things to say about Daniel Jones, you might want to fucking listen to them. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right, dude. You're absolutely fucking right. I said it last week, and I just gotta thank you fucking for carrying this show on social media, because I don't even watch ESPN. I barely even listen to the fucking Giants podcast anymore. Like, it's it's so irritating to hear all this fucking like negativity. Like, it's so obviously warped. Like that. You said that tweet about the guy who said Darius Slayton's been good up to now. It's like, you watch the game and all you have to do is not look away from the television. Just pay attention remotely. Like, and the graphic was up for like 25 fucking seconds. So you're obviously not watching the games. If you're not watching the game with a minute and 30 seconds left of a tie ball game, you're not fucking watching the game at all. So you're either out of market and don't want to pay for DirecTV or whatever the case is to get the game, and you're following on red zone. So all you're seeing is fucking scoring plays. You're not seeing the actual game itself. That's the only way to come up with a fucking plan like this. Or you're in market, but you're more concerned about your fucking stupid fantasy team and still watching red zone. And again, not watching the fucking game in its entirety. For you to be able to say something like that, it's like, I don't even understand how you could put those words together without being embarrassed if you know what you're talking about.
It's really tough, man, to try to convince these people or even try to have any kind of like real debates. It just doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying.
It just doesn't work out at all.
Thank you.
But whatever, man. I try to do my best on this fucking thing. It gives me headaches sometimes. Sometimes I want to just throw my phone down and fucking crack it. But listen,
it's sickening.
That's what I got to do. It's impulsive,
honestly.
I got to do for the fucking podcast. And for the people that do listen, John, we got a few people that hit us up. do the DMs on the BBO NYG podcast, looking for the shirts and any kind of merchandise for them. So we got to come through with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll order something for you guys soon. Thanks again for listening. Appreciate you guys. And
if the day ever comes where I'm just walking around in the wild and I see somebody wearing a fucking Big Blue Offensive shirt,
I'm gonna
fucking jerk off on the spot.
Right. I'm gonna, I mean, I'm not gonna go that route. I'll just give him a hug and introduce myself. But yeah, man, we definitely.
I'm gonna try to chase him down and nut right on him.
We're just saying we love you guys. That's all we're saying. Okay. So just be careful out there, people, when you wear the shirt if John is around in New Jersey.
Stay out of fucking Jersey.
Yeah, stay out of Jersey. All right. So so the Haters Club segment is over. But now, John, we gotta get into the picks because
picks. Fuck.
You know what? The Big Blue Offensive podcast took over the number one spot.
Dude, it's weird. Jules hasn't been around, and all of a sudden we climb back into number one.
It's crazy. We're at 122 points right now. We're crushing it.
Baker Mayfield has been claimed by the fucking Rams. Look at that.
Yes, see what San Fran even passed up on him, which is not a shock to me, but I think a shock to a lot of other people because with Jimmy Garbage going down with the broken foot, they just expected them to get Baker. But I'm telling you, they have this guy Brock that plays quarterback. He was the backup, and he came in. He did okay. I'm telling you right now, San Fran could put any fucking piece of shit quarterback, and they're gonna find. I'm telling you, they're gonna go. If the Giants don't go far in the playoffs, San Fran is gonna go far in the playoffs. Their defense is out of control, and their run game and their yards after the catch with these wide receivers and these screens they run is just they got a fucking team, man. So watch out for them. But we'll get to them in the fucking pick segment in a minute. But all right, here we go. So first game, Thursday night game. The Rams are at home. Speaking of the Rams, Raiders are -6 against the Rams. John, I kind of like the Rams, man. I thought they played Seattle pretty well last week. They gave Seattle problems. Seattle took them, a last-minute touchdown to Metcalf to win the game by 4 points. I like the Rams again, man.
My gut tells me to go Raiders here. But I don't feel strongly enough about it where I would go against what
I don't feel strongly either. I was going back and forth on it. So I'm going to give you this one. I'll go with the Raiders.
Yeah, let's go Raiders. I have a good feeling about it. Let's go.
All right. Well, next game, Steelers, they're at home. They're -2.5. I got a strong opinion about this game against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is going to be out. He hurt his knee. Who do you like, John, in this game?
Ravens.
Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Ravens too, even with their backup quarterback, man.
Ravens have a good team, so that's where it comes from, man. Quarterbacks excel when the team around them can support them. So when their backups come in, they actually fucking perform.
I
crazy how that works.
I like them a lot too. All right, next game, Titans. They're at home. They're -3.5. They lost a tough one against Philly last week. It's one of the games we were wrong on. I really thought Titans would have gave Philly a chance.
Yeah, they got embarrassed.
They did get embarrassed, but Titans are back home. They're -3.5 against the Jaguars. I like the Titans.
I like the Titans as well. I feel like this is going to be a game where they fucking pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
I like that. I like the Titans a lot. Where I want to throw a money ball pick on that.
I'm down.
All right, so it's a money ball pick on them. All right, next game, Bengals. They're at home. They're -6 against the Browns. I like the Bengals, man. Joe Burrow's just playing lights out, and they're playing the masturbator. Masturbator didn't look so fucking great in his first game back for the Browns. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson for people that don't know. And they didn't show the girls in the suite. I guess they I
forgot about that. Fuck.
Yeah, they didn't show it on TV. I don't know what happened with that.
You know why? I know exactly what happened.
That
motherfucker heard our podcast and knew that fucking sending these hot ass bitches to the fucking place that it would blow up his whole spot. And I fucking ruined it for the entire world. And I apologize to each and every single one of you.
That was on the Mix It Up podcast that we talked about Deshaun Watson.
Whatever.
And it's creepy thing. So like and subscribe to that podcast as well. Yeah, so I got to go with the Bengals.
I know Bengals hit you. They've definitely
been
turned
playing
the season around.
Oh yeah,
playing super well.
They have
to ride it out.
They have been balling out, and Joe Burrow just looked fucking phenomenal, man. there's such a difference between these top quarterbacks like a Burrow, Mahomes, Brady, and then there's like a little bit of a drop off to like the second tier. Like it's like there's nobody better than those guys, man. They're just so good. All right, next game. The Cowboys are at home. They're minus 17 against Houston. I know Houston's terrible and all, but does the Cowboy? I mean, the Cowboys did blow out. Who they play on fucking Sunday night? They
I
blew
don't
them
know,
out.
but my stomach just turned when you said the fuck 17 points, bro.
17 points. I mean, I don't know, dude.
I'm going Texans here. I can't stomach this. I have to go Texans.
Yeah, I don't expect a big blowout again. Yeah, I'm going Texans is this. All right, next game. The Bills are at home. They're minus 9.5 against the Jets. 9.5. Didn't the Jets beat Buffalo like a few weeks back? Like Jets are a good team, man. They got a great fucking team. Their defense is
maybe Vegas feels like the same thing with the Giants. The kind of magic is worn off a little bit. So that's they're coming to come back to earth a little bit. And the Bills are just, obviously maybe they don't expect them to get, smacked twice by the same team.
I tell you, I gotta go with the Jets getting those fucking 9.5.
Yeah, I forgot that it was 9.5. I can see them keeping it close. Yeah, I'll go Jets here.
All right, Jets it is. Next game. This is a weird one. Lions at home. Lions. I told you the Lions are a good team, man. People, when we lost them, people were like, "Oh, we lost to a shitty team." I'm like, they're not fucking shitty. Lions are at home. They're minus 2.5. They're the favorites against Minnesota. I like the Lions.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
You like the Lions, huh? Getting 2.5.
Since you took the first game, let me get the Lions.
Sure.
Yeah, I do. I'm telling you, man. The Vikings, they play fucking down to competition. They only beat the Jets by 5. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be an elite team, but I don't know. They're really not, man. You could get to Cousins and rattle him. I tell you, when we play Minnesota, I can see the fucking Giants crushing Cousins, but we'll get there eventually one day. Speaking of the Giants, they're at home underdog, getting 7 points against the Eagles. We know we're taking the Giants, so we already told you why. So we can move on from that. Next game, Chiefs are away. They're in Denver. Chiefs are minus 9 against that Broncos defense. I don't know what to do here. I want to take the Broncos with the points just because I could, Chiefs don't got that great of a defense, but the Broncos, they just stink. They fucking stink. Yeah. So I guess we're going with Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's one of those fucking weird games. I hate that 9-point fucking shit. I can see the Chiefs winning by like 8. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll take the Chiefs. All right, next game. 49ers are at home. They're minus 3.5 with a backup QB against Tom Brady and the Bucks. 49ers for me, man. That defense is just out of control.
Yeah. I mean, we're watching the last few games of Tom Brady's career right now. You'd like to think he's going to go out fucking on top, but I don't know. I feel like this is maybe the Buccaneers will win, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like 49ers probably going to take it to them. They're going to fly across the country to Buccaneers.
49ers it is. All right, next game. Seattle. This is a tough one. We need this. Seattle's at home. They're minus 4 against the Carolina Panthers. Seattle's probably going to win because it's Carolina, but I'll be rooting hard for Carolina because Seattle's right there in the playoff home with us. But damn it, Seahawks are probably going to win. I got to go with my betting heart, and I'm choosing the Seahawks unless you want to override it.
For the football gods, I'm going to throw a Hail Mary up to you. I'm putting the money ball on the fucking Panthers right now.
Moneyball pick.
Override.
Override? Okay. All right. Yeah. Just the override. All right. Panthers it is. All right. Let's hope you're right. Next game. Dolphins, they're away. They're in LA for the Chargers game. Dolphins are minus 3.5. I think the Dolphins bounce back.
Yeah, me too.
I like that. Actually, I like them a lot. Where that's going to be one of my Moneyball picks on them.
Yeah, they're a team I'm not worried about traveling to outside of the country because they're actually good.
Yeah, they got a fucking
Panthers. You can't say anything about that.
Crazy. All right, next game, the last game, the Monday night game. Patriots, they're in Arizona to play the Cardinals. Patriots are -1.5. I like the Cardinals, man. They're at home. I'll take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I take the Cardinals.
I don't,
Is Kyler Murray still playing? Or
Yeah,
they
he's
just
back. Yeah, he played last week. Well,
wow.
yeah,
And they
this week
still
was a
can't
bye
win
week.
games, huh?
He had
It's
a
funny
bye
how
week this
fucking
week.
couple years turns around, and all of a sudden with DeAndre Hopkins, you can't
I
fucking
know.
make shit work.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. He got like a little attitude problem too. People are like, I don't know.
Well, he's got little man syndrome. That's fucking
Yeah, little man syndrome. Yep. All right. So you need a pick and I need a pick.
Jules just texted us.
Sorry,
Should we
Jules.
have him come on and then just fucking be like, all right, see you later?
I mean, if he just clicks on the Zoom, you could try to get in. You know what? I'm gonna go San Fran with my money ball pick.
Did we do the Ravens or the Titans?
We did the we did
one of
we
those
did the
two.
Titans. Yeah. You want to do
Let's
the
go
Ravens?
Ravens on the other one.
All right, Ravens it is. And that is our picks for the pick segment. Yeah, man, that's it. Like I said, if you guys listen, keep DMing us with your size shirts and whatever and your address. We'll make sure as soon as we get the guys together and order some shirts and figure out how much it's gonna cost us. We'll put it all together, order some shirts. Thanks again. Like and subscribe to the podcast, share it with your friends. If you like to talk about the Giants, feel free to reach out to be a guest. On the pod. And then I think that's really it, man. Anything else, Sean, before we go?
Let's go Giants. Let's fucking shock the world next week.
That's it. Beat Philly, man. Beat fucking Philly, that dump. There was real quick before I go, there was a bus. Apparently they sold like 10 buses from Philly to the Giant game with tickets. So there's gonna be a lot of Philly fans going to the game. So we gotta bribe these bus drivers to take them and to just drive these Philly fans to the dump where they fucking belong. You know what I'm saying?
What if we just sabotage the buses?
Slash your tires, like whatever we do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Screw those Philly fans. Stay the fuck away from MetLife. You're gonna make it look worse than what it is with your fucking ugly ass green shirts there. Because if we fucking pee on you, yellow and green makes blue. So keep that in mind. But anyway, we out on this podcast, man. Go Giants.
Piss on them.
Be good. We out. Peace. Go Giants.